We're into the final 48 hours at the UN climate talks in Durban, South Africa. High-level negotiations are happening now, and things are starting to move very quickly. Countries are trying to agree on a process to form a treaty that would keep global temperature rise below 2 degrees Celsius. For activists who want to see bold action here, the mood this morning was somber.
The energy is particularly flat, I think, for the last 2 days. Normally the last 2 days of a COP are the most hectic and busy, but seems to be fairly relaxed, and we're not entirely sure quite where things are happening or where things are going on in the COP at the moment.
By mid-afternoon, things started to heat up. The European Union and vulnerable countries are pushing for a roadmap that would end in a legally binding treaty to take effect no later than 2015. Delaying action beyond that would be too costly, scientists say, and risk locking in a level of climate change that would bring catastrophic and irreversible consequences.
We must remember at the moment we're heading for 4 degrees warming. That is just not acceptable, and this conference cannot ignore the screaming sort of alarm bells coming from the science.
Canada and the United States made somewhat surprising statements, which may reflect a shift in their proposals towards the EU position, or may just be an effort to reframe their old proposals in a more progressive light, to make themselves look better if no deal comes out of this process in the end. Activists are cautiously optimistic. At least things aren't deadlocked right now, but there's still serious concern that countries aren't doing enough.
What is happening? The richest nations are trying to escape from their responsibility to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions now. That is what's all about. What is going to come out of Durban? Very low pledges that will lead us to an increase in the temperature of more than 4 to 6 degrees Celsius in this century. That means that if now we are having 350,000 persons dying because of natural disasters that have to do with climate change, we're going to see that figure multiply by, who knows, 4, 5, 6 times.
It's time for action. And so to wait until 2020 or any time beyond to begin to take action is like waiting until the horse has bolted and then you go lock the stable. Why would you close the stable when the horse is gone? What are you protecting now?
The real essence of the negotiation should be how much rich countries are going to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions in this decade, not after 2020.
The level of activism is ramping up as well, to remind negotiators what this is all about. If negotiations do break down tomorrow, or head back towards a post-2020 deal instead of 2015, I'd expect to see even more hard-hitting demonstrations.